I'm Letitia Davis. I'm from Exeter. I've been up here testifying over and over for a number of years. There's one reason I'm able to be here, and it's not hypothetical, and that's because somebody saved my life with a gun. He did it without firing a shot, which is the best of all worlds. Nobody was injured, but the gun acted as a deterrent, and it was effective, and I'm here today because of it. So I'm not a statistic. That didn't get recorded anywhere. However, I'm still here, as were several other people because of that. And I know that there are cases like that that happen all over the country. And it seems to me that there's too much emphasis put on quote-unquote gun violence, and I would say it's violence with a particular object. The gun doesn't do anything on its own. It's entirely what the person is doing with it. Just the same thing that they could do with a car, a more recent terrorist activity to take a car or a truck and run people down. And that goes to several of the bills that are here tonight when we talk about reciprocity. I decided I didn't want to be dependent on somebody else for my protection anymore. But it turned out in my town of Exeter, there was no CCW available. And somebody said, well, you could go to the Attorney General's office. Well, no, don't waste your time because they don't want to give them out now. And, it took quite a while, and it wasn't until about, 5 or 6 years ago that we finally started working on that process in Exeter. In terms of reciprocity, I'm in the Merchant Marine, and I go all over the place. And that means that if I'm going to have a gun with me, I have to start going around state to state to state, so that every port I'm going to stop in, if I want to have protection with me when I go ashore and wander around the docks at night, if I have to go get food or something like that, I need to be able to do that legally. And the result of lack of reciprocity for me is, maybe I take a dogging iron, which is a big pipe with me, or I'm unarmed, or I just don't go and I can't do what I need to do until I can do it safely. And it seems absolutely ridiculous to me that we allow driver's licenses to be honored all over the country when people can kill with a car just as easily, but we don't honor something that actually is a right, not a privilege, the way a driver's license is. So I support the reciprocity bills, and the other thing is we need to have an objective standard for issuing concealed carry permits. So I have gone and gotten them from other states, and it's almost embarrassing to see the way Exeter, other towns, the Attorney General here handle the application process, and that so many people in law enforcement in various towns, they're refusing to obey the law. And do we get to pick and choose? I don't get to pick and choose. Why can police chiefs decide that they just don't want to issue? There's something wrong with that. And I understand that the Attorney General, they've left it as may issue because the court case was resolved that because we have the opportunity that it shall issue at the town level. Well, that's all very nice if the chiefs do issue. And it was quite a battle in my town before we finally were able to achieve that. So we need to have an objective standard. And in the other states that I've gone to, it's completely objective. You get fingerprinted, they do a criminal background check, and if you haven't, got any violations, you're issued. And you don't have to write an essay about why you're a good person or why you're in need, or have somebody sit there and objectively, who knows nothing about your job, make a decision about their knowing what's best for you when they don't know anything about it at all. So a lot of people have covered a lot of things, so I'll keep it short. In general, all the gun control bills I oppose, and we need an objective standard and we need reciprocity. And I am all for people being able to do concealed carry in schools because I am well aware of how protective guns can be when used properly. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Letitia. Any questions? Representative Roberts.
I don't have a question. I just want to say, I'm sorry. Okay, is that a question? I just want to say thank you for your testimony, because I have heard of stories of women who, we hear so much about these women being abused. Well, you know what? I'm a firm believer that we have the ability as women to stand up and say, you know what, enough's enough. I'm taking control over my own life. You are not going to push me around. And when somebody like yourself, say, for example, you believe in the Second Amendment, right, obviously, with that, women will be able to assert their own authority over their own selves, their lives, and control it themselves, get more control that way. So I think that's something that, of course, we don't see that in statistics because it's an assault on the Second Amendment, our Second Amendment rights. So they don't want you to know that, and they don't publish that. But that's the facts. It does save lives, and I think that maybe we need to get more statistics and studies done on that.
And so I know that's hard to do because, just like in my case, it's not a statistic anywhere, and with no shots fired, but yet, we were safe. So, I don't know how you account for those kind of things, but I'm really aware that they do take place. So
yes. So thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.